So John, what do we got next in the job?
Well, all that's left is to fit the lid to the box, and we're going to raise the panel. We're going to cut a tongue that's going to go into the groove. Then we're going to come back with a number 5 carving gouge and carve a little thumb catch there in the end.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Okay.
What we're going to do is
What's first?
We got to mark around the edge 1/4 of an inch wide long scribe line.
So we're laying out the tongue that's going to fit in your groove?
That's going to fit in the groove. We're going to take away everything else down to this line. Before we make our first cut, I guess I need to set this fence just a little bit better.
So this fence will hold the plane in the same position for each cut so that you get a consistent depth from the edge?
Yes. Okay, so we're going to start over here on the other side, and we're going to just kind of drag that back like so. And that's
so you're just
scoring.
You're just scoring the grain so it'll cut clean.
Mm-hmm. Then we're just going to nibble away at that.
And so you're basically holding it in on the end so that it doesn't ride out and just go down little by little?
Yeah, riding on that fence. Now I could take a bigger cut, but I run the risk of blowing things out. And this is just a nice little exercise to practice your skills, making everything nice and straight, cutting to a line. Cutting a little bit off of that side more than I am this one.
So again, you keep checking your line, checking your work, and you...
Yeah, you put that line on there so you can go down to it.
Now, if somebody doesn't have this tool, what way would they cut that groove or cut that rabbet on the end of the board, I should say?
I would use a hand saw. You could use a hand saw. You could chisel that down. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of different ways you could do that.
But that's a good tool if you do a lot of this.
Yeah, if you're going to do a lot of hand tool work, that's almost a priceless tool there. Now we're going to cut this long grain.
And so here again, one way it's going to cut with the grain. When you get over to the other side, it's going to be cutting against the grain, unless the grain's twisted.
Yeah, in this case, it's taking such a small amount, it isn't going to make too much difference. But you're right, wood is like humans, it has different characteristics. And you can kind of tell when you're finishing up because that ought to come in pretty much in line with that groove we've already cut.
Uh-huh.
Now we're going to take this little shoulder plane here, and you have just a little bit of discrepancy there. This little shoulder plane is going to clean that right up for us.
So you're just squaring up that cut and getting the depth consistent.
Yeah. And when you have these little curlicues coming like this, that means you're cutting right to your line, and you don't want to do too much past that.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty much the
That's
line.
pretty clean.
I might could take one more cut right here, maybe 2. I'm going to flip this around. And go through the same process all over again. Okay, what we got to do now, Jay, is make sure this is going to slide in the box, so let's see what's going to happen.
And now's the time to set this so that it works now before we do the raising. Is that correct?
Yes. So what we need to do is we need to bring this back in here. And we need to get just a wee bit right there.
Just make it a little narrower?
Yeah. You want to have a nice reveal all the way around inside the box there.
Now, when you say a nice reveal, I'm assuming this is going to change a little bit through the seasons. About how much are we looking for?
Maybe a 30-second all the way around.
Okay.
And that will give us a... Now, what I'm doing, I'm tapering this just a little bit.
Okay.
Because the reveal is going to be back here on this edge. We'd like for that to fit just as tightly as we can possibly get it without binding.
But it'll be a little looser on the back side?
Yes.
Good.
We need just a little bit more off that.
And so here again, a little bit at a time.
Yep.
Look at that, listen to that.
That's what we're looking for right there.
That is great.
So now what we're going to do is raise the panel. I just do this by eye. I'm going to come back in here and put a mark there, 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 and there.
And the length of our top is already set?
Yes, the length of the top's already set. So we should be good to go.
Gotcha.
There.
Okay.
Now we're going to come back and raise this panel with a hand plane. So just start off right on that very edge, and I'm gradually coming back toward this line here, and going back to the other edge, just kind of, and if you'll notice, I'm kind of skewing this.
Right.
So I'm going skewed and down.
You're cutting as much with the grain as you can?
Yes, and that's going to avoid any tear out over here. I may get a small amount of tear out, but if I do, it's going to be cleaned up when I get this edge here.
Now, how do you know how far to go down on the tongue side? What are you shooting for?
I just eye, just kind of an eye thing. What looks good here? Get this one the way you want it, and then to bring the others to it.
Gotcha.
So if I got an 1/8 of an inch reveal here, I'm going to be satisfied with that.
So that'll be below the level of the sides of the box.
Yes. So that looks like it's pretty nice and clean
nice
across
angle.
there. Do need to touch that up just a hair there.
Just clean up that end grain a little bit.
That's a little better, not perfect. You want to blow that out right there because that will show right there. So I got about the depth I like right there.
Oh, that's nice.
Now I'm going to blend it back to this line right here. Just leaving that line. You can see just the faintest little bit of that line left there. Repeat the process over here. This is going to be the part that sticks out the back, the front of the box, I should say. And I'm just going to kind of pull that down a little bit there. Kind of blend it in with these lines on the tongue. Now what you're looking for here is this line to go from this corner down to that corner.
So you're going to connect those 2 points.
Then you know it's in pretty good shape. That's much better. You can even hear the difference.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Well, good deal. Thank you.
Okay. What we're going to do now is just, as you can tell, I hate to mark, measure, so I'm going to just eyeball that right there. And I'm going to take a 3/4 chisel and make one cut. Right there. I'm going to rock it like this, and like this. Then I'm going to come back with a little smaller chisel and go right in the center, make it just a wee bit thicker. Now we're going to take this number 5 carving gouge, come right there, there.
And so this is going to be where your thumb or finger can go to open and close the
Yes, and
box.
you want to get a nice clean cut on this right here because it's really hard to get anything in there to clean it up. So it's imperative to have a really sharp gouge here. Just a wee bit too far there with that one. There it is.
Way to
One
go.
little shaving.
Way to go.
All right.
Good deal.
Good
Congratulations.
deal. Thanks for allowing me to come. It's been a great experience, man.
I'm glad you came.
I'm excited about what you guys are doing here at the Center for Creative Woodwork, and I wish you the very best.
Well, we look forward to seeing you here. Come, John's going to be having a Philadelphia ball and claw carving class in the spring. We'll be doing this box class in the summertime, along with a
Saw restoration and a sawteel.
And a sawteel, so basically a small cabinet to hang your saws and tools up in your shop. So we hope to see you out here.
And we'll be using basically tools like this in the projects.
If you're interested in the programs at the Center for Creative Woodworking, you can go to Rockingham Community College's website. In their search pane, search for woodworking, and you'll find our schedule and a little bit about the shops. And again, we're located here in downtown Reidsville next to the Farmers Market, so we hope to see you out here.
Great.